Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, hope you're all doing alright out there. In this video I'm going to hopefully be replacing the battery in this Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone transmitter. You've probably seen these around the internet a lot. It's basically a wireless microphone system which came out a few years ago. There was the Go 1, but this is the Go 2. I got mine about 2-3 years ago. In the kit you get 3 little blocks like this. 2 of them are transmitter microphones. My other one is on my hat now, as you can see. And the third one is the receiver, which goes on the camera and it has a little screen on it. So I'm replacing the battery in the microphone. Now the way this has shown itself is about 6 months ago, I noticed that the top was a little bit loose on one side and I thought, oh, the adhesive's gone. Maybe it got a bit hot or something in the sun. I don't know. But it got worse and worse and worse to the point that, 10 out of 10 points to Rode for repairability. It's actually opened itself. Because what's happened here is that the battery pouch cell has expanded to the point that it's completely unstuck the front cover. Now, if you've got warranty, you can send it in for warranty. I tried to contact Rode to see if they would honour, I think it was 1.5 years, 2 years or something. I had problems getting hold of them and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to fix it myself. I do this quite regularly with things. Last week, I replaced almost an identical looking battery in my Corsair headset. And that is far more complicated than this. So as I say, this is props to Rode that this is very repairable, but in the sense that it comes apart easily, and assuming that this battery I've bought works, which is not one of their batteries, but I don't know if you can get one of their batteries because I searched for a replacement and nothing came up, and I assume that's because they want you to send it in for repair. Now I know a lot of you out there are not going to want to do that like me and you just want to get it fixed. Well, the battery was £15 roughly. There were cheaper ones, but the reviews looked a bit dodgy. So go for the better looking one if you can trust anything on Amazon reviews, that is. Hopefully I've got the right one. That's the first thing I need to check. I've also got some double-sided electrical repair tape to stick this front back down. So Amazon sent me the battery. This whole box. For this. You gotta love Amazon, you really, really do. Inside here is the battery. And I have to say, that looks like a good match. Now, there is something to note here, and this came up during my Corsair headset battery replacement. On that one, you have to switch around the leads in the plug, which isn't difficult to do. You just get a scalpel and you have to hook out this little plastic tab, pull the wire out, and the other one, turn around, push them back in, make sure they're placed in, But you need to know it's the right way around. On this, I'm going to check it's right before we put it in. So first thing to do is going to be to just take this out. Are there any clasps or catches, or is this something that just pulls out? It looks like it should just pull out. I should say, if yours hasn't opened itself conveniently asking for itself to be fixed, to remove that, looking at what's here is just some glue. You're just going to need to warm this up with a hairdryer, get a spudger down on the edge and just start lifting and go around and get it to lift up. Because what's sticking it down is adhesive all over the place, but it looks like the only adhesive that's actually stuck is on the very edge. That's a bit dusty now, which is why I've got this repair tape, as I say, and I'm going to try and clean this up to get it back together properly as good as I can. So, right, continuing on. Just wanted to get that in there first. I've got some tweezers with my tape, so this might help me get this plug out. Is it a pull outwards? Okay, so a little bit of online research. It seems that this is just a case of get hold of it, get underneath it and ping it out. This spudger is quite large for this, but there we go. It's always worth checking before you start using brute force and ignorance. There is definitely a time and a place for brute force and ignorance, but right now it's not it. I'm going to use a bit of heat just to remove this battery from here. The exposure is better on this cardboard. Then just use a spudger to pry the old one out. And that's where we get to see that this thing is massively expanded out. In fact, it's got dents in it. It's expanded that much. Right, I had an idea. I've taken some double-sided sticky draft excluder. I've left the glue side on one side, and I'm going to cut this down to a very thin pad. So now I need to just check with the old battery, with the plug facing downwards the way it goes in, it is positive, neutral, and then your extra lead, which will be the monitor. And if we compare it to the new one, it is the same. From the right to the left, red, black, blue, but in this case white. There's nothing for it than to do it. What's going to be the easiest way? Is that going to be like that? It seems like you just put this in place and click it down. Hey, that was easy. What's the best way of this going? That way? Yes, because that's going to be the best way. That is a very snug fit. I don't think I'm going to get my foam in. So this battery here is slightly larger, isn't it? Nope, not metal. Obviously, lithium pouch cells you need to be very careful with, because one strong poke in the wrong place is not going to end well. Come on. I want to thin my little foam pad down even more, because there is virtually no space in there, and this is quite a dense foam compared to what was in it before. Okay, so I've thinned that right down. That then goes down in there, and that's still flat. That's nice. Right. Now, it may be the case that I can just pop this back on here and it will stick fine, but because a little bit of dust over time's got in, I was going to remove all of that adhesive, but I think I'm just going to put these adhesive strips on the edges. So this is the sort of tape you use to stick components down into phones, or seal bits together. Is there an edge? Yep. So what I'm going to do is just make a border of this double-sided tape to help it stick down. And run it down the edge. And then trim. And obviously repeat that 4 times. It has just dawned on me that I probably should test that the battery's working, because it's probably got enough charge in it to work before I stick this down. And there we go, the other one is now working, but it's got absolutely no charge. So I can turn that off. Oh, I didn't mention, this system costs 230 quid at this point. One of the microphones alone to buy is 101. So it's not like the microphones are the cheaper part of the system. Now I've left a gap there, but I have a piece here. This repair was, to say, £16 for the battery, roughly, and I paid like £4 or £5 for this tape, but I've now got tons of it, and it is very, very handy stuff. It's VHB, but on a very thin, small scale. So get, oh, no, line up, line up. There you go. They're in. They're in. That's down. Oh, you heard a little click. I'm then going to use some warmth. Press around the edges, hold it down. And there we go. So just double check that again. Yep, that's working perfectly. But it does need a charge. There we go, on charge, seems to be going fine. If there is any problems, you won't see this video. So there you go. If you need to replace the battery in your Rode Go 2 transmitter, I can't talk for the receiver because I've not opened it, but if I just hold this battery up to it, I'd say the exact same battery is inside that as well, but I haven't checked that fact. It's nice and flush, it's not like sitting proud or anything, it looks as good as new. I'm not going to give a link to this battery because it said there's only 2 in stock, and you're going to need to look around for what is the right one. This I got off Amazon, and I found that by just searching Rode Wireless Go 2 replacement battery, and it popped up. There are, as I say, several options from like £9 to 15, and with batteries inside of a £100 piece of equipment, there is no truth that more is better, but it had a couple more reviews on it. It looked good. I checked the pictures, everything seemed fine, and it's thankfully turned out that way. It seems like it's absolutely perfect. So I'm not particularly happy as a customer that I've had to do this already, but it's only on one of them, which makes me think something happened to this one, or maybe this is a dodgy cell. Either way, I will say props to Rode for making it easily repairable at home without any real specialist tools. I mean, as I say, hairdryer, little plastic spudger thing, a bit of self-adhesive tape. I mean, I might not even need to tape it, to be fair. If I heated it and restuck it, it probably would have stuck, but that was a better way of going about it. I'm fairly certain that's going to cover any of the questions that you'll have with this, but if you do have any, leave a comment below. I'm quite willing to reply and help you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, although to be fair, I mostly do motorcycle content, but, you know, little repair jobs like this is 100% up my street, because there is nothing better than fixing something yourself without sending it off for weeks or paying loads of money or doing anything like that. I mean, if it was in warranty, I would have done that, but it's out of warranty. I mean, you could possibly argue that that is a manufacturer fault, because this isn't damaged and it broke within the first 6 years, and the company thus is responsible for it. But as I say, I use these. It's nice to just fix it. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters and YouTube members, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.